Hi guys, Kat here from Back in the Saddle. After just wasting some more time in my life being on social media, and I've come on here because something that I don't often do, I got passionately caught up in a post about some girl being delivered a horse from a dealer, and the horse has arrived after a 6-hour journey. She's already paid for the horse up front. I don't even know if she's been to the yard and seen the horse. It didn't sound like it. It sounds like she's bought it on an online auction or something stupid like that. And basically the horse has turned up after a 6-hour journey. It's got a little bit of thick snot, yellow snot, and also it looks like it's his chest, but it may have been under its ribs. She didn't show a picture of the whole condition of the horse, and said they've tried to hide this skin issue where all the skin has been rubbed, and it looks like loads of little like pin prickly, you know, maybe they'd clipped the horse and then the rugs have rubbed, but it certainly doesn't look like there's any inflammation, and doesn't look like any of the wounds are oozing or anything. It just looks like there's some pin pricks that are a bit red, and it's raw, slightly raw. So she's bought the horse has turned up, she's taken some pictures of it, and then she's blamed it onto the yard where it's going, which apparently is an event yard. There's no box for isolation. Well, there's many yards that don't have boxes for isolation, because usually when you have to put one into isolation, often it's too late. You've got them all locked down. Now, for a big event yard or anything like this, that where they're in and out to shows, they should all have their flu and tet anyway. There is always a risk of going out and catching something, but this one particular lady, she's bought a horse, it's been delivered into her hands. Now, in my mind, and this is why I am doing a video now, I would love to hear what your thoughts are, because she sent the horse back for another 6 hours back to the lion's den, and she's very concerned. Obviously she's lost her money. The dealer isn't going to give her money back. The dealer said that she's made the horse like that, and also so she hasn't got a horse and she hasn't got any money. Now let's just put this into perspective a minute. If the horse cost £2,000, I don't know, I presume about that, maybe not even that, I don't know. The dealer has offered her £1,600 back, because obviously the dealer has had to pay to get the horse there. 6 hours there, 6 hours back in that condition, and so that's what she's offered her back, and the girl isn't accepting it, isn't happy. Now, I got very passionately involved in this, because in my mind, once an animal is in your care, or once an animal is yours, that is your care, that is your responsibility, you look after it. So to want to take somebody to court to get your money back because the horse has arrived with a snotty nose and something that has upset its skin is absolutely beyond me. For the yard to say, no, we can't have it, is beyond me. I'm not 100% sure that I actually believe that is what has happened, or why they've put pressure on this girl to send it back or whatever. I honestly don't know. But I just wanted to get other people's takes on it. So if you bought a horse and it turned up with a runny nose and a skin condition, would you not now think that that is your horse, and that you need to get it some blood tonic? You'd probably worm it, you'd have it in the stable, you'd give it some salts, you'd give it some gut salts, you'd do whatever you could to make sure that the horse is okay, because it's now your horse, it's in your care? Or would you prefer to send it back, dealing with a dealer that you know probably doesn't give a shit, and you are never likely to get your money back? Why would you do that? Now, I know some people, they're not used to having horses, they're not used to buying and selling horses, they don't have a lot of money, the worry, the anxiety, the pressure that there is when we have a horse coming. You know, a lot of people have already gone out and bought it new rugs and head collars and lead ropes and everything spangly for the bloody tack room and everything else. But basically, at the end of the day, would that horse not have done better to have been rugged up, kept in, fed up and just looked after? I don't understand how somebody buys an animal, doesn't like it on arrival because it's got a snotty nose and something wrong with its skin, that you would send it back to where it had this problem from. Now, I don't know the dealer at all, but the dealer has obviously travelled 12 hours plus, because they must have stopped a few times. The dealer probably gave the horse a fucking bath, which means it probably has been covered in cold fucking water, and then it is probably, I'm not saying it is this, but it's probably then been rubbed down with all sorts of fucking cleansers and soaps and shampoos and whatever, and then it's been rugged up, and then this is probably rubbed. If it's here or down where the girth goes, I couldn't tell. But literally, there are people on this post now telling me that it is probably going to cost her thousands to get this horse right. Thousands? For vet bills? For a snotty nose? Is the horse eating? Has the horse drank in 6 hours? That horse, even if it's not sick, is going to be sick after the next 6 hours that it took to get home. To me, this is animal welfare, not even particularly, this is where I'm going to upset people, from the dealer that sent it, but now from the owner who has sent it back. Because after 12 hours travelling, any horse is going to be on its knees unless it has been rehydrated, and how do you know that it has, and fed. So it's already got a snotty nose, it's probably got a chill, it's got an itchy skin, and you send it back for another 6 hours. Now tell me, people, if by somebody like me saying that's now your horse, that's your responsibility, is that really fucking bullying? Or is that not an animal welfare issue? And if it is animal welfare, if that horse has come from somewhere where it is verging on animal welfare issues, who in their right mind, what owner, what yard owner would send that horse back saying that it's going to risk all the other horses on the yard? If all the other horses are up to date with flu and with flu jabs, then how can it be risking them? Those horses, apparently it's a big competition yard, where if those horses are out competing all the time, they're risking this all the time. You're risking strangles every time you get in that lorry and you go out. So you can't blame it on this one poor horse that's turned up. A lot of yards don't have like isolation boxes. So what do? When you have a horse that's been out to a show and it comes home and the next day it's got a snotty nose, what do? Isolate as best you can and you get on with it. Is that no different to a new horse arriving? And if you're that worried about strangles coming into your yard, would you not insist on a strangles test before the horse arrives? Tell me, people. Because all I can think of is that horse that is now having to travel back for another 6 hours. If it wasn't ailing before, it will be ailing by the time it gets back. And if they think that this skin problem and this snotty nose or strangles has come from anywhere else, if it's come from that yard where it's come from, or picked it up on the way through if they've had other horses in the lorry on the way through or something, how the hell can you send it back? It's beyond me. But, you know, I am doing this now because I'm more than happy to listen to what other people's opinions are, because a lot of people on this post think that I'm wrong. Well, if you bought the horse without seeing it in the first place, you take a risk. If the horse has got to be delivered, if you can't go and get it, you don't pay for the horse until it's on arrival anyway. So if you're that worried about the money rather than the animal, that's fine, if that's the way you are. You know, often you'll get a horse walk off the lorry and you think, well, it's only got 2.5, 3.5 legs. Can't have that, send it back. You don't pay. So if it's the money that you were that worried about, why did you pay up front when you haven't even seen the horse? It's boggled my brain. Absolutely boggled my brain. Anyway, you may see I've had a bit of a bad week. Cut my nose, got caught on a rose bush. Fell over, done my ankle. That's wrapped up in a fucking really tight bandage and it's gone black. Looked like shit, haven't been sleeping. What else went wrong, Bella? Anything that you can think of that may have gone wrong this week? Went wrong, didn't it? Say hello, Bella. So let me know, kids, what you think about it. I just think once that animal is yours, once you've got the passport in your hand and the horse in your hand, that's your responsibility to send it back with no money. Now, people are turning around and saying if you don't accept the goods, you've got more chance of winning in court. Don't accept the goods. More chance of winning in court? Winning what? Your money back for what? After 48 hours, maybe 24, maybe 72, whatever. Could have been a fucking blinding horse. But now, how can they deal with themselves knowing that it's gone back to where they think these awful things, a runny nose and a bit of a skin condition, has come from? Tell me, how bang out of order am I? Am I bang out of order? Tell me, because I would love to hear and love to be able to understand another perspective. Because all these people out there blaming the dealers, I think this time you got it wrong.